Chapter 1. Arrival on Vernost. 552 BBY. The twin suns of Vernost burned red-orange across the horizon, casting the volcanic plains in a molten glow. Darth Gean's starship descended through the acrid clouds, the engines roaring as they pierced the dense atmosphere. Below, rivers of magma twisted through jagged cliffs, and the scent of sulfur mingled with the faintly sweet aroma of the Ceela vapor rising from the planet's surface. Gean's prosthetic arm tightened around the hilt of her lightsaber as she surveyed the barren landscape. She could feel it, a subtle yet insistent presence in the Force. The Ceela was unique in itself, as it pulsed through the world like a heartbeat, ancient and alive. She had come for it, drawn by visions of its power, but the Force whispered of more than just a substance. There were lives intertwined with it, and destinies that could be reshaped. As her shuttle landed on the blackened plains, Gean felt it. The Force was converging, pointing her toward a distant settlement nestled in a canyon. And there, as if waiting, she saw him. A young human male tending to the Ceela fields. His posture was commanding, yet he moved with the ease of someone at home, in both the Force and the natural world. Something about him spoke to Gean. Something deep, primal, a resonance of potential that mirrored her own. Her thoughts, though scarred and tempered by pain, stirred with the first flicker of curiosity she had felt since the death of Darth Gravid. Kaden looked up from the fields long before he saw or heard the incoming ship. He simply knew it was there. Such incidents were common for him. Since childhood, he had sensed things before they happened. Shifts in the wind, footsteps in the dark, the tension before a strike. He could never explain it, and his parents had warned him never to try. When he came of age, they sent him to enlist in the Vernost Corps. Fortune favored him. He had been born into the bloodline of House Slaughter, his father's brother, the current ruler. That lineage ensured his advancement through the Corps ranks was swift, but it also guaranteed resentment. More than once Kaden found himself outnumbered in training exercises that turned into ambushes. Unfortunately for his would-be aggressors, he always seemed to feel their attacks a heartbeat before they came. Coupled with his uncommon strength, the skirmishes rarely left him with more than a scratch. After graduating from the Corps, Kaden received assignment to House Slaughter's agricultural division, the guardians of Vernost's most valuable resource, the Ceela fields. For centuries, the house had held exclusive rights to the luminous pink substance that fueled the planet's prosperity. Old folk stories claimed the first patriarch of House Slaughter had been a sorcerer, who bent the minds of rival lords, compelling them to surrender control of Ceela forever. The other noble families ruled their own industries: mining, textiles, livestock, water purification, and Vernost's survival depended on the balance between them. Rivalries festered beneath polite smiles. Any open conquest brought swift retribution from the others. They despised one another, yet coexistence remained the only path to profit. Though assigned to oversee and defend the Ceela harvests, Kaden quickly earned a reputation for producing larger yields than his peers. Before long, he trained enough foremen to manage the other plots, freeing himself to experiment alone. He developed new techniques, conserving resources while improving production. Vernost's economy still thrived on barter. True currency existed only in dealings with off-world traders, whose arrival had begun to change everything. That day, as the ship descended near his fields, Kaden felt something wholly unfamiliar. The presence struck through him like fire and ice combined, terrifying and exhilarating in equal measure. He turned toward the landing site just as the vessel's ramp lowered. A figure emerged. She was a Twi'lek, her skin a deep crimson that shimmered under Vernost's twin suns. Black tattoos coiled across her visible flesh in patterns that seemed to move when he tried to follow them. The left side of her body, arm, shoulder, part of her neck and jaw, was encased in elegant prosthetic armor, the metal dark as obsidian. Kaden had seen many Twi'leks before, but none like her. Power radiated from her presence, commanding his attention before she even spoke. She began walking toward him, her stride measured, inevitable. He didn't know why she had come, or why his pulse thundered in his chest, only that something within him recognized her before reason could intervene. And as the red-skinned stranger closed the distance between them, Kaden understood. Without words, without logic, that his life on Vernost would never be the same again.